Hi everyone, welcome to the Maker Universe. Welcome to the Media Studio, which we completely improved here. What you see here is our podcasting setup that you can use. Super easy to use, by the way. I just clicked two buttons. I opened this iPad. I clicked on the Camo Studio app, and basically I just record, and everything turns on. The light is turned on, the camera is turned on. You can use these excellent microphones. You can use the headsets, the headphones, just to hear your own voice. So it's easier to talk, especially when you're in a conversation here. So feel free to use it. I encourage you to try it out. It's super helpful for conversations that you want to record, maybe for little introductions to your topics, to your projects, to your startups, whatever. And you have a good quality in terms of the lighting and so on. And the files are directly here. You can download them, you can airdrop them, and use them for your projects. What I want to talk today about is the Learning Catalogue that we just published. So all the open sessions and the other formats that we are now launching for the first time, so that you can join, that you can participate this summer in various formats that we hope will bring you some joy, some education, and also some inspiration. This is the most important part. Most of the workshops or the sessions that we provide are there to inspire you to come back and then do something else. Try out tools, learn from the masters, the experts that are here, and then go on from there and do your own projects. For those who have not been here yet, we are a hands-on learning environment for all students, all researchers, even all employees, to be honest, to explore and to materialize ideas, especially at the intersection of digital and physical. So it is an extension for the HPI, for the office that we have, but it's an extension that makes a lot of sense, because when you think about it, digital not just ends most of the time in the digital realms, but it goes beyond that. When you think of sensors, or you think of robotics, you think of other devices, you are very quickly in the real world. So it does actually make sense to think about how can we actually prototype for that kind of scenario? What can we do? What kind of tools are actually available? And you would be surprised how much is available, how easy it is sometimes to use these objects and these machines like 3D printers to create objects basically out of air. It's really magical, actually. And I'm, for myself, very surprised and very inspired every day to see what is actually possible and how easy it is to use. So I encourage you not only to come to our open sessions, but to really just come by and try out things and ask us or ask your fellow students for advice, and they will help you. And this is another important aspect of this space. What I realized is there are so many students here who have so much knowledge about these things, like people who are like 22 years old but have 5 years of knowledge in 3D printing or in laser cutting. They know tons of stuff about these things, and they can help you, and they're happy to advise you and to give you guidance. And this is actually really helpful. The students themselves are a great resource for other students, so we can learn from each other. And this is something that you hardly ever see in the normal curriculum, if you will, because typically you learn from the professors and the PhDs, the postdocs maybe, but there's this greatest resource of knowledge available at your hands, and these are your peers. So it does make sense actually to have this environment where everybody can help each other and we can learn from each other. And a lot of the open sessions that we offer this semester are inspired by other students. So let me give you some details on that. We have these open sessions and you can basically participate. We will publish all of these sessions again on our own Slack channel, make a community. And there you can basically register by just commenting on our post, basically saying, yes, I want to join, I'm in, whatever. And we have different sections. So we have sessions on the topics of hardware, on applied AI, creator tools, and user research. Hardware, we have 2 workshops where you learn how to solder. This is the essential part in electronics, to solder hole and SMD components and wires. Very basic workshop, but our expert Toby is there to help you, so that if you have never soldered in your life, this is your chance to learn this, because this is the starting point for everything that comes with sensors and electronics. Then it gives you the foundation to think about more advanced projects later on. The other workshop in hardware is Build Your Plant Station with Smart Home Applications. So here we have a master student, Florian, who will help us to set up a workshop where you can basically build your own first prototype of a self-watering plant station. That means you learn how to use different sensors, ESP microcontrollers. Maybe we will print our own case for this watering station. There are already plans to go further than just this workshop, to think about automatic watering systems, maybe about installing cameras and so on. And maybe even based on AI solutions, we will find a way to talk to our plants and they talk to us. That would be the ultimate goal. So, but let's just start with a very small workshop where we basically make sure that our plants get enough water, even though we are not there, for example, if they are in the office. And let's see where we go from there. So we will iterate. It's just the first workshop, but it's a great start into this topic. The other workshop, also coming from a master student, Nikita, is where we build our own motorized foam core airplane. So you build your own airplane, which you can then fly using standard components such as radio electronics, motors, and servos. And the materials will be here, and you don't need any prior knowledge to this, but you will learn a lot, not only about aviation, but about these tools and these techniques that we will use. And again, maybe it's just a starting point. Maybe different other things will come out of it. We will see. It's also up to you. Okay? You cannot just only participate, but you can bring in your own ideas and say like, hey, let's build on this airplane. Let's do something else that has a relationship to aviation, or let's think about drones. Let's think about smaller objects. Let's think about different use cases here. The other section, applied AI. Again, basic workshops to let you have a closer look into what is actually possible in terms of applications. So we are not building our own applications, but we will learn how to use the ones that are available and that are rapidly changing all the time. For example, you will learn how to prompt with Stable Diffusion. There we have our AI wizard, Markus, who will teach you how to design these prompts with Stable Diffusion, how to craft AI images, how to manipulate them in different styles so that you get to the results that you want. Again, no prior knowledge is needed, no equipment from your side. You just register on Make a Community a few days before the event takes place, and you're in. It's just 1 hour, but you will learn tons in that hour. If you know how to do prompts, you can go to a more advanced workshop in terms of applied AI, which is upscaling and inpainting, so that you can really improve your AI outcomes. Or you can go to a deep dive workshop later on, which is in July, about training your own AI model. So again, Markus will show you how you can do this, and we will basically meet here and go right into a hands-on learning experience. So there's not much of an introduction, no presentations up front, but basically we will show you the tools. You will try them out right away, but you have an expert right next to you who can guide you if you need help. And in the end of all the workshops, we will, as a group together, then reflect on what we learned about the tools, about the process, and so on, which is the fundamental learning approach that we like, especially me after doing a lot of coaching and a lot of research on the topic of education and didactics. It's like I truly believe that this experiential approach to learning is fundamentally the best one that you can use. Don't give us too many case studies. Don't give us too much of an introduction, but basically jump into the action, jump into the hands-on experience, and later, afterwards, reflect on what just happened. This is an approach that will get you the most. I'm very convinced of that, and we try really to live by this approach and to integrate this in all the workshops and sessions that we offer. The next session is creator tools. Learn how to create 3D models with tools such as Blender. It's a rather complex tool, but again, we will give you an easy access to the tools so you can try it out yourself right away. You will learn how to design these 3D models, which is essentially the starting point if you want to print out models. So, and you don't want to rely on stuff that is out there as open source models, but you want to maybe create your own products, your own objects. So therefore, you need to have an understanding about 3D modeling, which we will give you in just an hour of time, and then you're ready to do your first objects yourself. Another creator workshop is the creation of animations with After Effects. Again, standard tool. Markus will show you a thing or two about video production here, about how to animate text for your next video so that it looks really professional. He will also show you in another workshop how to edit your videos with Premiere, so that you really know how to make it a really professional video, for example, for your landing page, so that it's not as long as this one here right away, but that's really crisp and to the point, which is especially important when you want to advertise something or show your research maybe in a minute or something, and you want to make a video out of it. Another one is color correction, also important topic. Making better photos, not just with high-end cameras, DSLR cameras, but also your smartphones. You have a great setting here with the light so that you can take advantage of it. But if you understand how to really do nice portraits or how to make a good composition, that's really helpful to make them look even nicer. And that's something that Markus will show you as well. And another one that is more like a deep dive for creators is our Ableton workshop. So here we'll use the Ableton technology so that you make your own song or musical theme. Not only will you learn how to create rhythms and melodies, but we will also do field recordings, vocal recordings, so you can integrate all these different sounds into your own music, and you will mix it in the end. This will actually take 3 days to do, but in the end you will have a really nice musical composition that you have created yourself, and you will know a lot about the technology afterwards. And last but not least, user research, a topic that is very close to my heart. Whenever you want to create a product, a solution that is made for other people, you cannot just simply rely on what you think is useful, but you need to have a good understanding of what your potential or your future users want. What's their desire? What's their need? And yes, maybe you know a thing or two about your users. Maybe you are a user yourself for your next product. Absolutely. But there's always different users and different needs. So it's really, really helpful and also inspiring for you to understand what those needs are before you create your first prototype. And I'm going to show you how to conduct user interviews to really extract user needs without having to rely on surveys and questionnaires. Because especially in these open-ended, really not structured interviews, you can get a lot of informations that you wouldn't even know that are out there. And that's the whole point. You want to be surprised by your users. You want to be surprised by those interviews. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Again, very experiential, very hands-on. We're going to meet. We're going to prepare together a real user interview. And then we're going to, in this workshop, conduct the actual interview with a real user for one of those projects from our workshops. And after that, we're going to look at the video recording, and together we think about actually the outcomes, and we will reflect on what worked well and what didn't work well. After a few interviews that I've already done, for example, for the plant workshop now, we have also material that we can use for the other workshop, which is making sense out of user interviews. My idea is that we will have a look at some of the interviews that we recorded. I will edit this and cut a few parts together. And we together as a team will use then frameworks to analyze what the most interesting parts of the interviews are. What are the most interesting statements? The frameworks that we will use are, for example, personas, 2x2 matrices, and jobs to be done. These are all industry standards. If you look into innovation projects in, for example, in organizations, these are typically the tools that these teams use to understand what then users are interested in. And in the end, you want to summarize it, but it's really a playful way of arranging data that you have in different ways to look at it from different angles, and then get even more surprised by what is actually there. What are the insights from your interviews that you might not even know after the interview right away. This is why we use these frameworks. So feel free to join this Making Sense workshop in June, and I hope you will learn a lot about these tools, these frameworks that I just mentioned. Apart from that, apart from the open sessions, we're gonna offer some maker weeks. These are more like eventful weeks during semesters, especially in April, where we have a whole week where you can just come by at any point and use some of the tools that we not always have available. For example, the Resin Print Week, which is the second week of April. This is a week where you can just come by between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. at any time. And basically, you come here and you learn how to design, how to craft your own model that we will then print in a very, very high quality version with resin printing, which is a UV-based approach. It's different than the normal 3D printers that we have. It's kind of messy. It's kind of like, high maintenance. That's why we cannot always do that. But for this week, you can come by and you have our expert here, David, who can help you with everything. And you learn a lot about this very specific, very, very cool way of doing prints. It's the Resin Print Week, April 9th to 11th. Come by, it's worth it. And the other Maker Week that we offer in April is the Make Your Own Shirt Week. In this week, you come and you will also design, or you already have maybe an idea for a print. We will help you how to create, how to vectorize it, how to design it. And then we will use these the tools that we have, the vinyl plotting, so that and the vinyl cutter, so that you can basically make your own print, make your own shirt. And it's a nice outcome in the end, but really it's also a nice educational learning process that you go through, because you will be exposed to tools that you probably never use normally in your lifetime. So feel free to come by, and we have you. We will support you in everything, so you will come out with a really nice shirt in the end. Apart from the open sessions that we provide and the maker weeks, which are special occasions, we have on-site services at all times, like during the week, whether it's in the semester or outside, which is, for example, electronic introductions. So to understand the complex and very, very, very nice electronic workstation that we have, you can just come by every Thursday between 1 and 3 p.m. And our expert, Toby, is there, who can show you how to use all these very nice tools in terms of electronics. The same goes for the 3D printing and the laser cutting. We will have laser cutters soon. Every Tuesday, David will be available between 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. to show you how you can manufacture, how you can use additive formats to create objects with 3D printing, or how you can laser cut. If you're interested in this setup, in recording in general, in audio recording, you can contact us as well, and especially Björn from our team, who will then show you how to make the best out of your audio recordings. Björn is an audio engineer, and he knows a lot about these tools that we have here. We have also workshop introductions. So we have this little space, this little workshop space where you can drill, where you can cut stuff, where you can glue, where you can pre-process wood before you bring them to the laser cutter. And to make sure that you are safe, that nobody gets harmed, and that you also use the tools correctly, we will give introductions there as well over the week. UX testing, we do a lot of UX tests and user research tests actually, and Jan, one of our team members, created actually a really nice setup where you can basically, the same like here, push 2 or 3 buttons and you can record a whole session, a whole interview, or a whole UX test in one of our studios here. And just to show you how it works, where the data are stored and so on, we can definitely give you introductions into that as well whenever you need it. We also have another space here, which is superposition. That means basically 4 large screens. You can connect as a team of up to 4 people. You can connect to them via your laptops, and you can share all your screens that you're working on. For example, you're together programming, designing, whatever, and you can share your screens, and everybody sees each other's screens, which is actually a really efficient way of teamwork, as we experienced ourselves, because you don't need any more team meetings in between. You can really, in parallel, always see what's happening. Still, you can focus on your own work, but you have a good understanding of what is happening in terms of the overall project. So I encourage you definitely to try out the superposition team setup, even if it's just for an hour, but it can make a big difference when you want to work on a project together and you want to maybe be more efficient, more effective, and you want to see if this is the right approach for you. And we also have, last but not least, we have the plotter. So you can print posters for your education and for research in A0 and A1. So you don't need to go to any printer outside. You can use the tools that are available here. Should be easy to use. Again, if you need help, we are here to help you. So make use out of it, and come by, have a look at what your peers are working on, be inspired by that, because that's what this is all about, to learn from each other, to be inspired from each other, because there are really cool projects, actually ongoing projects already, and it's the easiest way to get to know each other and to get to know the others' projects, by just dropping by without having an agenda, or without having already an idea in mind. Just have a look and look what is useful, what is inspiring to you.